Today I'd like to talk to you about Embase. To access Embase from the Hardin Library's website, scroll down until you see popular resources, and then the last link on the left-hand side is to Embase. Now before I get started, I just want to point out that I'm not going to talk about all the features in Embase, so this is not going to be a comprehensive tutorial on this database. The first thing about Embase that you want to remember, and this is incredibly important, is when you're typing in a term, you need to type slowly. So we are on Embase's homepage, and you'll notice that here it says Quick Search, which is also known as Quick. The one thing about Embase is you have all these different searching options that are available for you, and I'm going to talk about some of them today, but again, not all of them. So from the Quick Search, I'm going to type in my term. And notice how as I start typing, Embase starts automatically mapping for me. So for example, in PubMed, you have to type your term in and then look at the search details to see if your term mapped to a medical subject heading. In Embase, the controlled vocabulary is known as Emtree. And we're going to go into Emtree in a little bit later. So I'm going to type in my term heart attack. And as I continue typing slowly, it starts mapping. And it says for heart attack, use heart infarction. Now the thing is, if I type in heart attack quickly, it's not going to map for me. It also tells me how many citations I'm going to get before I actually search the term. And now it takes me to the results page. And as you can see, Embase has expanded on my search. I have my search history here, I have my filters, and I have my citation records. Another thing you want to remember about Embase is you never ever want to search from the results page. And I'm going to show you why right now. So I'm going to type in heart attack again. And again, as with in the quick search page, Embase maps for me. And now I'm going to click search. But notice in the results the difference. So my first search, I have over 417,000 citations. In this new search, I have 362,000. So why the difference? Also notice here, this search has been expanded, where this search hasn't. If I go to the second search, and I open up the search details, notice how nothing is exploded and nothing has been added to my search. So that's why it's very important. Never ever search from the results page. This is the only page in Embase you don't want to search from. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this out. I'm going to go back to the quick search, and the easiest way to do that is just click on Embase on the upper left. And now I'm going to type in my second term, aspirin. And again, because I type slowly, it maps the term for me. And now I bring it to the results page. Now I want to combine these two terms, so I just find the appropriate searches. I check the box to the left of the searches, and then I click combined. Now automatically and is selected, so I'm going to leave that selection as it is. And now I've combined my searches, and I've got over 40,000 citations. Now on the left we have several filters, and above we have several filters as well, study types. The reason I'm mentioning that is if you are doing research and you just want to limit to human studies, you have to go to study types and select human, and then click apply. It brings up a new search in the search box, and then this is the filter that I've added. I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and I wanted to point out that Embase is one of the few databases that we have that also searches gray literature, and that is anything that hasn't been published. So for example, there's a filter here for journal abstracts. And so what you can do here is you could specifically select abstracts from a particular conference. You can also go up to study types and you can scroll down and you can see all the different study types that are available for you. So for example, if you want to filter to systematic reviews, you can do that, or randomized control trials. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to talk about some of the different ways that you can search Embase. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Emtree, and I'm going to type in heart attack again. And as before, it maps for me. Here it opens up the hierarchical tree. So here is my Emtree term, and here are all the terms that fall underneath it. Here are all the terms that are listed above it. And this tree can be very useful. You can get more information about the term. By default, this term has been exploded, and I would leave that as it is. I would not select major focus. If you select major focus, all you're going to get are articles where heart infarction is considered a major focus point. I'm not sure the methodology behind that, so by unchecking it, you're going to get every single article that has heart infarction indexed. Sometimes the Emtree term will be listed twice, sometimes more than twice. If I scroll down, I get the history, I get the synonyms, and these synonyms are, if I typed in any of these synonyms, it would map to heart infarction. So notice here's heart attack, which I had typed in originally. And here's Dorland's dictionary for some definitions about the Emtree term. Now scrolling up, I have a couple options. I can add this to the query builder, which allows you to build a search. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click take this query to the disease search. And this is a search specifically for diseases. And you can also see it listed here. So you don't necessarily have to go through Emtree to access the disease search. You could access it directly if you wanted to. So you have several options here. And for Embase mapping options, what I would recommend is map to preferred term in Emtree. Go ahead and select that and explode using narrower Emtree terms. Now again, it's your search. It's completely up to you. But these are the options that I prefer. Now the nice thing about the disease search is you have filters, some of them listed here, that are specifically for diseases. So for example, if I open up disease subheadings, here are all the different subheadings that specifically have to do with diseases. Now the nice thing about this is that I can combine these using or I can combine them using and that's completely up to you. I'm not going to add any filters. I'm just going to go ahead and bring this back into Embase. So I'm going to go ahead and click search. Then I'm going to click Emtree again, and I'm going to type in aspirin. And again, here's my hierarchical tree. Here's my history. Notice, look at all these synonyms for aspirin. And in the case of aspirin, you have the CAS registry numbers as well. These are hyperlinks. And I'm going to take this to the drug search. And this is the nice thing about Embase. They have a disease search and a drug search. And again, I'm going to select my mapping options. And I'm going to open up the drug subheadings, but also the routes. So these are all the different ways that this drug can be administered. And notice these are very, very specific. You can select as many options as you like. You can use or you could use and. Again, I'm not going to select anything, and I'm just going to click search. Now I want to combine my results. I just check the boxes to the left, hit combined. And notice how when I did this before, I had over 40,000 citations, and now I have over 38,000. And that's just the difference between basic searching and subject searching, or using the controlled vocabulary. So let's talk a little bit about the results page. So up here you have your different options. You can select as many terms as you want. Here you can click on the title of the article to open up the abstract. And one of the nice things about Embase is it will highlight in yellow terms that you've searched. So here we have the abstract. We have drug terms. These are hyperlinks. You can click on these and you can pull up articles that have specific terms indexed. These are disease terms, device terms, and then other terms. Here's author information. So if you wanted to contact the author, and then here's additional information about the article. If the article is also indexed in PubMed, there should be a hyperlink PMID number that you can use. Notice how there's a UI link underneath the basic citation information. If you don't want to click on the title of the article, you can open up the abstract here. You can open up index terms, or if it's available, you can view full text. And these are your different options for displaying the records. That's really all I wanted to say about Embase. Just a couple things to remember. Always type slowly and do not search from the results page. Other than that, this is a great database to use, especially if you're searching for drug information or medical device information. And while I didn't get a chance to go over all the different searching features, please take some time to look at them on your own. And if you have any questions about this database, please don't hesitate to contact me.